Hey everybody, Robocon here, coming back at you with another Sword of Convallaria video. And today what I want to bring you is my complete guide to Edda after having played her for a few days. I don't have access to any of the content creator servers, so I'm not able to touch these characters until they release, but now that I've had her for a few days, I've been able to play her, see where she excels, and where, while her kit may have some offerings, if that is the best route to go, might be doubtful. What I want to do here is I want to go over her stats and kit, some of her best builds that I feel she has, and some teams that she synergizes with quite well. First, before I go any further, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton as I try and reach that 1,000 subscriber mark, and I do appreciate it. Any questions, leave it in the comment below. So here we can see we have Edda. I have her built in the way that I prefer to play her. However, there are multiple different routes that can be built within her ranking trees, and we'll take a look at that in just a second. Now, first, let's talk about her base stats and attributes. She has the lowest HP in the game to date, even over on the CN side. So she is very, very squishy, and if she gets caught out, she can be killed pretty easy. She has okay physical attack to help her with her assist damage that she's able to do, but she has low physical defense and low M attack. No one really cares about the magic attack. She doesn't really deal with that. She has okay magic defense, nothing to write home about. And she's also the third lowest speed in the game, just behind Anana and Samantha. So she will be usually acting last in the turn order unless you give her something like urgent order or give her some way to boost her speed. So quickly, looking at her kit and what it offers, we can see at rank 1 she has two options. She has a fortification skill, which is a support instant skill that has to go on your bar, and it instantly summons a box to the target tile. It has a 4-round cooldown, so remember that. And what this does is it can A, block off enemies, and B, allow you to position friendlies on top of it for high ground advantage, which gives you that bonus to crit, which is really, really great. Her other skill she has here is Shield Break, which is enhanced. It's a passive that she can have. It increases her attack by 30%, ignores 40% of the target's defense when attacking enemies with a shield. This is very niche. This is a build that you're going to see, and a common theme in her kit, that she is able to be this kind of shield breaker type character. However, I don't think that's really utilizing her to the highest capacity. I think she really excels as a support that is boosting your magic damage dealers' damage or your physical damage dealers' damage, but she really, really excels at the magic damage dealers. So let's take a look at rank 3. Guiding Gleam. Support grants all allies within 3 tiles of Edda damage up 3, which increases their damage by 30%, magic defense 2, increasing their magic defense by 40%, and move 1 gives her an additional move 1 for 3 turns, and she dispels disruption, which means she's going to get rid of move down, no active skill, no passive skill, no reaction, no assist, no dodge, blind, straight curse, etc. So very, very powerful skill, an all-around skill, cost very little energy with 1 energy, but a 4-round cooldown that you kind of need to take into account here. This is an overall buff and can go well with any team. It can help them out immensely. Let's look at her other ability. She has Wine Barrel Casting. This is a 4-round cooldown. It has no energy to cast, and it's an instant that deals a little bit of physical damage. Edda deals 20% damage to all enemies within 1 tile of the target and changes the tiles into liquor. Now, the big thing about liquor is it's a good debuff that reduces the speed of the enemies, meaning they act later in the initiative, and lowers their movement by 1. And also, big part here, lowers their magic defense by 40%. So she is going to be buffing your magic damage dealers substantially by lowering that defense, so they don't have to worry about that taking off the damage that they're supposed to be doing. That's an excellent, excellent ability, and can be used both to control the battlefield, control the turn order, and buff your magic damage dealers. A fantastic ability. Looking at rank 5, we have Shelter Advantage. It's a reaction, decreases the damage taken by 40% if there is any item within 1 tile around the character. So this is basically any sort of destructible item that you'd find on the battlefield, and she, luckily, can make one of her own with the fortification skill. So she can make a box and hug it, and then get a 40% damage reduction around her, which is fantastic, because as we said, she has very low HP, the lowest in the game, and her defensive stats are not something to write home about. Let's look at our other rank 5. We have counterattack, reaction. When hit by an active attack from the front or side, performs a basic attack to strike back if the attacker is within range, dealing 70% of the basic attack's damage. This effect can be activated up to 1 time per round. This kind of plays into her assisting / counterattack ability. Again, she can do this. I don't necessarily believe that this is the route you'd want to take with her, considering the buffs she gives as a support and what she can do there on that side of the tree. Let's take a look at rank 7. We have Rupture Armor. This is a passive. Before a single attack, gains a 50% chance to inflict physical defense 2 down on the target for 2 rounds. Now, this is how she can help your physical damage dealers, by applying this. But again, there's only a 50% chance to do so with this skill. So this may not be the best thing for you. However, if she's doing multiple assist attacks and attacking herself, then you have a greater and greater chance of applying this. I don't think this is necessarily a skill you're going to see on her bar, but I think it's something you could play into down the road. The other ability we have here is Barricade Fight. Passive, if there's any item within 1 tile of the character, increases attack by 15% and allows the character to move again by 2 tiles after initiating an active attack. Also a great passive that you could get. However, I don't think it's going to make the bar in the end if you're playing her as the support build. And if you're playing her as a shield breaker build, maybe. But again, just because you can do a build like that probably doesn't mean you want to do a build like that, because what she offers on the other side of the fence is really where her value's at. Let's take a look at rank 9. We have her shield break attack. This replaces her basic attack. It deals 100% physical damage and gains shield break 1 before attacking. This plays into the shield break effect that ties all the way back into shield break enhance that she gets as a passive, and then can also go into Rupture Armor. It really helps with this kind of debuffing shield breaking style of play that she has in her kit. But again, I don't think that is the way you'd want to play her to maximize your value out of this character. Looking on the other side, she has Dispelling Strike, a basic attack that deals 100% physical damage and dispels 2 buffs on the target. Now, this is big, and I think this is the basic attack you're going to want to go for, because when she's able to assist attack, she's able to debuff or strip buffs off targets, making them easier to damage for upcoming characters. This really helps with assist attacking. It also helps in with bosses or elites, because they have those buffs on them you want to get rid of. You want to make them as soft as possible so you can DPS them as quickly as possible. And finally, looking at her rank 11s, which I have not unlocked yet, as I am only level 52. But I don't know if these are the skills that you really want to be focusing on with her kit, just looking at them. Let's look at Take Arms. Take Arms is a 3 energy cast with a 4-round cooldown. It's a support ability. Other allies within 4 tiles of Edda restore 1 energy when she performs an assisting attack. Her damage increases by 130%, so it's a self buff for her of 130%, and increases the maximum number of times the effect can be triggered per turn by 2. The effect lasts 1 turn. So really, this is going to be when you have a bunch of characters around her that are going to be attacking, and you want her attacking alongside them as well. That can be great in like the shield break type build, but really not necessary in the supporting build. On the other side, we have Storm Sniping. It's a 4 energy, so high energy cost. Physical damage, deals 120% damage to 1 enemy within a cross-shaped range around the character. For each tile between the character and the target, distance of adjacent tiles count as 0, deals 10% more damage. This is a DPS skill, kind of leaning into this, shield breaking, damaging Edda playstyle. Again, it's fine, but I don't think it's what you want to be putting on her bar. Really, she's really front-loaded on her power with these initial rank 1, 3, and 5 skills. And if we take a look at how I built it in the way that I believe she is the most appropriate way for her to be played. Sorry, tongue twister there. So with Fortification, we're able to drop that box, boost her defense with Shelter Advantage as the reaction we're going to take for her, which we want to do because she has so low of a defense and HP, and also give some Highland Advantage to one of our damage dealers. Then we can cast Guiding Gleam on them, giving them damage up, magic defense, and move 1 so they can hop up on this box and get rid of all their disruptions, and they can do the damage they need to do. And then, if they're magic based, we have Wine Barrel Casting, which is going to strip 40% of that magic defense, and then again put us in front of the initiative order of the enemy. Really, these 3 abilities and the passive are the way to go, I believe, with Dispelling Strike, as you can see here. So, looking at some of her best builds, I believe this talent setup is the best way to play her, with Dispelling Strike, Shelter Advantage, Wine Barrel Casting, Fortification, and Guiding Gleam. It really synergizes the most with how she wants to be played, keeping her both safe and boosting up the damage of others around her, specifically those magic users. Now, let's also look at some good weapons for her. Now, I have Meteor Line on her, A, because it's 5-star for me, and B, because it inflicts 2 random level 1 debuffs for 2 turns, which means that she could, with Assisting Attack, potentially get all these level 1 debuffs on a character if that were to happen, because she just keeps reapplying every time it hits. I think this is her best in slot weapon. You can also play her with Whale Hunter, which is fine, inflicting targets with infection, so they get 20% more damage from the team, and the Iranian Combat Bow, which deals 10% more damage when not the character's turn, kind of leaning into that assist attack. But really, I think the assist attack is like frosting on top of the cake. And the cake is her supporting abilities and amplifying the damage of those around her and making them just better overall. There's some other options as well that you might consider. I know that we have the Longbow of the Martyrs, which can be good as well, and the Whale Hunter, we went over the Whale Hunter, but the Longbow of the Martyrs would probably be the other option. I really do believe Meteor Line works super well with her because we're able to keep reapplying those level 1 debuffs over and over again with her Assisting Attack ability. Looking at her trinkets, she has a couple good trinkets. I really like trinkets that give her an additional ability. So Disaster Bottle is one of my favorite. Again, this applies some level 2 attribute debuffs, which takes down attack, crit, P defense, M defense, and no healing received. Fantastic. I think she also works well with the Old Scrolls of August, being able to give an ally a level 2 buff and a speed up so they can move a little bit faster in front of the initiative order. And then you could always give her something like Spring Tonic or Spring Pill to help her have some self-sustain in her kit, which is great as well. Looking at Tarots, I really, really like putting Course of Fortune on her for the Wheel of Fortune buffs. I think it's fantastic. For the rolls, I would try and do some stuff that ups her physical defense, her HP, her M defense. I really don't think she needs any sort of physical attack boost. That's not really where you want to go with her. And then for the 4th slot, you're probably looking for something to just boost the tarot that she has. I mean, there's other options as well. You can do the Redemption of the Judgment, which dispels some attribute debuffs from a random enemy within 2 tiles. 2 tiles is kind of close, though. I'd much prefer it if it was something a little bit further out. You can do Elegance of the Empress, which I think is really good. After casting a skill on an ally, converts 1 debuff on the target to a level 1 buff and lasts for 2 turns. And she has that AoE skill with Guiding Light, which can help out a bunch there. There are definitely some options, and look through what you prefer. I definitely prefer the Wheel of Fortune. As I said, I like the additional buffs that she's able to give or damage. I think it helps out a ton, and that's where I would go with her. Taking a look at teams. So what other units does she synergize well? Well, she really, really synergizes with units that deal magic damage. Beryl, for instance, she is a pure magic damage user, and I think she synergizes fantastic with Beryl. She can strip 40% magic defense, drop a box that Beryl can hop up on top of, and start dishing out the pain with a choo-choo-choo, or a flaming meteor if that's something you're into. Also, Nungle. She converts all of her physical damage here into magic damage, which means magic defense stripping of 40%, really helps her nuke a character into the ground. She can hit super, super hard with the wine barrel casting debuff put on any sort of enemy. Also, sometimes overlooked is Dantalion, because Dantalion, much like Nungle, many of his abilities do magic damage equal to a percentage of his physical attack. So he benefits from having the magic damage stripped. His basic attack, White Sword, deals magic damage. His Dawnlight deals magic damage. Daybreak deals magic damage. He can benefit immensely. And a good combination here would be Dantalion with Nungle and Edda, because you're getting the 4 area buff, plus Nungle's getting her abilities, and then you're getting Wine Barrel casting to really lower the magic defense. And Nungle can hit really, really hard, and Dantalion can hit really, really hard in that. That's all I really have to say about Edda. She's a fantastic character. One of the best things that I think she has going for her is you don't really need any of her stars for her to be better. The stars help her in her assisting attacks, which is fine, but I don't think it is needed. Really, her kit is all right there in the first 5 ranks, and it can help out immensely with any sort of magic damage dealers. If you're not using legendaries like Beryl, Nungle, or Dantalion, she still buffs Abyss, other magic damage dealing characters below her, like K.A. Fire Sorcerer or Flame Sorceress, etc. Well, that's all I have for you today. I do appreciate it. Have a great day.